One. Yo. Slow budget. Once again. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Big Burn Show. Today's date is Monday, January 8th, 2024. Happy New Year, happy holidays. I want to get started by saying I just want to thank everyone for all the support I've been getting. It's been, more than I could ever imagine. I started the show last year about, the 2nd of January, and I didn't know what to expect. I just was doing it for fun. I got a lot on my mind, and this was my outlet. With the passing of my daughter last year, it was just something for me to do. So I continued it, and I didn't realize how big it was gonna get. And I'm happy. Like I haven't recorded in about what, probably 4 months now, and that wasn't the plan. I took a couple of weeks off, and then life happens. A lot of stuff happened in my life that I was preparing for. Like I was closing down my shop. I was preparing for my son, my oldest son, Junior, to move down here from California with his family. So I had to get the house ready. And by the time I did that, then, sports going on with my son and daughter. A lot of stuff to talk about there that I'll get into. Rocky's football season, he did pretty good. By far, he was like the best nose guard in the league. He killed it. And I'll get to all that of what happened with the football team and him. And my daughter Sakura still wrestling. Just she's doing real good. In a bit, I'll get into update with that. But then, I was going to all the football games, and everybody was like, "Man, when are you gonna drop another episode?" And people I didn't even know or were like, "Man, we love your show. When are you gonna have another episode?" And the plan was I was gonna start, but then I'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it on Monday," and then just stuff happened, and then a week happened, and 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. I have notes from like 2 months ago that I wanted to record. Right when I was gonna start, I decided I'm gonna reopen my shop, so that took a lot of time. It was in shambles. I had to get everything ready. So yeah, like I said, a lot of stuff happens, and but now I plan on being a regular again, at least 3 times a week. I'm gonna try to record. That's the goal. That's so. Let me get into a couple of quick things. Like I said, first I just want to thank everyone for all your support and for all the feedback. And one of the realest things I heard, someone told me, and I heard this from like two people. That's messed up. You got us hooked on your show, and then you just stop. I was like, oh man, I didn't think about it like that. And someone else was like, man, that was my going to work entertainment, past the time for him going to work. And someone else told me that's what they listened to when they knew they were 10 miles from home. They'd start my podcast because usually they're about 10 minutes. And then someone else told me just this weekend that they listen to my show while they're getting ready in the morning, the previous day. So I mean, like I said, I appreciate the support. I want to get back. I'm gonna get back into it. Not I want to. I'm gonna get back into it. So a few things. It's a new year, so I don't know if anybody remembers last year I did the push-up challenge, and I went all the way. I got my notes. I went all the way to like April 13th last year, and the way it works is, day one, I did one push up. January 2nd, I did two push ups, and so on and so on. April, around that time, I injured my shoulder. So that's pretty much why I was pretty much forced to stop. And by the time my shoulder got back, I was so far behind. Like I said, like anything else, life happens, and but at the time I did stop doing my push-up challenge on April 13th, I did over 5,000 push-ups. New year, I'm doing it again. I'm gonna see how far I could go. I'm not promising nothing. I'm just gonna, for my best. I'm gonna try my best. A couple of things that let me start off with Sakura, because a lot of people ask me, like everyone knows she wrestles. And our home club, we were with Tucson Cyclones. She, like, again, excellent club, one of the best clubs in Arizona, hands down, by far one of the best clubs in Arizona. The proof is on the walls, the proof is in the banners, the proof is in the championships. But everyone knows she does jujitsu and all this. So we found a club called Tucson Pride at one of the tournaments. And they just so happen to be a all-in-one club with wrestling, jujitsu. They do MMA. So we just felt it was a better fit for her. And so now we travel there 5 days a week. And for us, it was just a good fit. It's a perfect, and nothing against the Cyclones, but that we love the Cyclones. Like I said, by far, they're one of the top clubs in Arizona. Excellent coaching staff, but we just felt because of the jujitsu that Tucson Pride was a better fit for us. So we've been going and it's been excellent. Corey's wrestling has improved. She's won a bunch of tournaments. She's won jujitsu tournaments. Again, that's another reason it's taking up all my time. We travel 5 days a week to Tucson to take her to practice. I'm here at my shop from about 9 in the morning to 2 p.m. And then we're out the door to Tucson and we don't get back till 9 o'clock at night some nights. So yeah, I'm just staying busy with the kids. Corey's like I said, she's been really improving. It's to the point now where I believe someone her weight, she could at least compete. She might not win every match. She's not going to win every match, but she can at least compete. And that's all I ask for her. Try your best and compete. It used to be we used to go to these tournaments and in 10 seconds she's getting taken down and pinned. But now she's doing real good. This Saturday is a big tournament. It's the Battle of the Ring. It's a 4 tournament series where the top 2 in each weight class are going to get an award, and it's a point system. So you have to go to everyone and you got to place top 4, and then only the top 2 are getting an award. And for the 100 pound and 115, I think she's still eligible for both. So if she does good this Saturday, we're looking at least getting an award. It's been fun. December 27th, right after Christmas, I took her to a all girls junior high tournament. So I told her, well, this is gonna be a good test. She's only in 5th grade. She's 11, so she was gonna wrestle 6th, 7th, 8th graders, and she actually beat 2 8th graders in the tournament. One of them in overtime. So out of 8 girls, she placed 4th, and that's huge. So yeah, she's just working hard and continuing. Rocky's doing high school wrestling, and it was one of those things that I didn't know if he was going to do it. I know a lot of people have heard this story, but I'm going to reiterate it. At the time he stopped wrestling, which was 7th grade, he was one of the top heavyweight youth in the state of Arizona. I mean, and then injuries started happening, so he literally hasn't wrestled in 4 to 5 years. So he actually made his debut as a senior for high school, which is rare. But he's doing good. He's what's his record now? 25-10, I believe. This last weekend he didn't have a great tournament. He got 1 win, 4 losses, but not all tournaments are going to be great. He's been 5-0 in a bunch of tournaments where he's won every one. So I mean, it's coming going. He's still trying to just get his body used to wrestling again. It's not an easy sport, and I've said this before, and other people have. Wrestling is probably the hardest sport you will ever do, practice wise. The practicing is nonstop. You got to be top notch. It's one of the sports where you're conditioned the most. No other sport can come into this sport thinking they're conditioned to do it. It's just not going to happen. So he's a heavyweight. He has lost some weight. He started at 285. He's about 265 now. So he's lost 20 pounds, but he's a big boy. And we go to these tournaments and all these other heavyweights make him look small, if you can believe it. It's crazy how big some of these boys are. But he goes out there and again, he's going to compete. He might not win every match, but he's going to give you his 100%. He's going to compete, and may the best man win at the end. So we're just hoping to get him ready for sectionals, top 4 at section, go to state. And if he could go to state, anything could happen. So even though I haven't been recording in a while, I still, this show has been on my mind. I'm planning. So I was able to get a lot of interviews on the wrestling side that I've been wanting to get. So I think Wednesday or Thursday, if I could get all the editing done, I'm gonna have an all wrestling episode. I've gotten interviews with, let's see, off the top of my head, Audrey Jimenez and Katie Gomez, 2 world team girl wrestlers. So, and Audrey Jimenez, everyone knows, best in the nation, #1 pound for pound female, 105 pounds, just a beast. I got David Pastoriza, the head coach of the girls 14U traveling team, AZ Girls Wrestle. I've got an Izzy Ibarra and Emilio Isagiri Sr., 2 of the Eloy boy coaches. So if you want to prepare for that, go on Flow Wrestling or even YouTube and look up Eloy Boys documentary on their pro wrestling programs. It's crazy. You got to look at it and hear their story. I've also gotten Emilio Isagiri Jr., who is an ASU wrestler, and one of the guys I've been wanting to interview for a while, who's been a long-time listener and just a good guy, Diego Chavez, also former ASU wrestler. I've gotten a couple of the girls 14U traveling team members, Jasmine Buck and Reagan Kinderman, I'll be having. And I got good interviews with them. They just came back from Utah last week, and they just killed it. Arizona girls dominated Oregon, Utah, Washington. Like I said, I've been out there going to a lot of tournaments. If I see people I know and I'm like, oh, can I get a quick interview? So it's been fun. So today's episode, I just wanted to reconnect with you guys, let you know I'm still here. I plan on continuing the show. I'll just call it last year's season one. This is season two, starting fresh. There's a few things on my mind I'll bring up today. Sports, real quick. Man, Steelers got in the playoffs. Everyone knows I'm a Steeler fan. They weren't supposed to be there. Oh my God, they sucked during the half the year. They won a few games and sucked again. Right when it thought we were gonna just run away with it, we lost to 2-2-10 teams back to back weeks. Like, oh, it was crazy. And then somehow, I think, the best thing that happened to the Steelers was Kenny Pickett going down. I mean, they brought in Mitch Trubisky, who's like, man, why did they wait so long to pull him? And then Mason Rudolph comes in and wins three in a row to end the season. Was it three or four in a row to end the season with wins? And we're in the playoffs. So win or lose, we're there. Coach Tomlin, 18 years without a losing season. Clippers are doing good. They make that big trade, got James Harden. And then what they lose 5-6 in a row after getting Harden, but then they turned it around and now they're in the fourth seed. They just lost to the Lakers last night. And honestly, I haven't even been following sports. Like I said, my life is just way too busy. But we did catch the first half of the Laker Clipper game last night, and so like I said, I try to watch sports as it is. I usually everyone knows I'm real good at fantasy football, fantasy sports. I wasn't able to do. I had a lot of teams, but I wasn't able to keep up with the sports. We travel so much. Corey and Rocky are wrestling so much that I want to say out of the last 3-4 months, maybe 3 weekends I've been home. We've been living out of hotels like every weekend, traveling, going to Sholo, Phoenix, and Mesa every weekend almost. Just traveling. So, but I want to have it another way. This is what I signed up for when I dedicated my kids to sports, and so I'm not complaining. It's just I'm just staying busy with them. I mean, had a nice family dinner last night with a bunch of my family members for my son Junior's birthday. His birthday's tomorrow. He'll be 32. Man, it makes me feel old. Remember when he was born? So yeah, we had a nice family dinner at Chili's. So it was a good family little outing because the weather was bad yesterday. Man, we picked the wrong day to go. It was snowing. We actually had snow yesterday. The roads were not the greatest, but we made it. I told my daughter-in-law drive slow. We were driving 40, 45 miles per hour on the way up there, but by the time we left there, the roads were clear. It was nice, so it was a good evening. And let's see what else is going on with sports. One thing I did want to bring up because I'm just tired of looking at it on my feed. This whole Taylor Swift, and what's his name, Travis Kelsey thing. Like, who cares? Like, you can't even watch a football game, a Chief game, and every 5 minutes they gotta show the camera up to Taylor Swift. Like, seriously, who cares? And the thing is, she's not even that pretty. I could literally go to my local McDonald's and find at least two girls working there that are 10 times hotter than Taylor Swift. Yeah, okay, she has an okay face, but no body, skinny as hell, no ass, flat. I mean, I could go to Walmart and find girls hotter working there. The fact that she could sing and she's rich brings me to my next thing. Why are so many people just fascinated and by what celebrities are doing? I mean, if Taylor Swift drinks tea instead of coffee one morning, it's all over Facebook. Like, why? What is the fascination with these celebrities? I honestly don't get it. Why do people so obsessed with keeping up with the Kardashians and New Jersey, whatever that shit is, with the New Jersey chicks and whatever? I'm like, I honestly don't get it. Jay-Z and Beyonce are on my Facebook page every day for every move they make. And it's all, and most of the stuff is all these people flaunting their money. Oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce just bought $160 billion house or whatever it is. I'm like, well, good for them. Me and my peoples are still poor trying to, make a dollar out of 15 cents. And I'm glad these celebrities, can afford what they could afford, but my peoples are struggling. So like I said, I honestly don't get the fascination. Just like I used to say when remember Cash Money Records and all them were out, their music to me wasn't good, and all they did was flaunt how much money they got in your face. So you guys are spending $16 a CD for these people, and all they're doing is showing you all the shit they're buying with the money you're spending. I don't get that. I was never a fan, never listened to the music. At the end of the day, they're rich and you're not, but you're fascinated with their life and they could give a crap about yours. When your rent's due, write them a letter, see if they'll pay your rent. Like I said, that's just something on my mind. I have a lot of notes written down that I was going to record months ago. So a lot of them are outdated. So I didn't really write. This is just all off the top. I didn't really write nothing down. I want to thank everyone for their support. And you know how to get a hold of me. Message me, text me, however you can. And you got a question, you want me to talk about a certain thing. But just, you guys are the real MVP. I want to give a shout out to all you guys that are still supporting me, supporting this show. And back to the quick wrestling about Tucson Pride. If anybody wants their kid to get into wrestling, jiu-jitsu, MMA, let me know and I'll give you their info. Coach Joe Howard told me that if anybody from out here or someone, if I send someone, you get your first class free, so you could test it out, see if it's a good fit. Oh, one thing I did want to bring out. Everybody knows I lost my daughter. It's been a little bit over a year, and it changes you. It changes the way you think about everything when you lose a kid like that, and when you have a lot of loss. It makes you when you lose so many people, you have a different perspective on life. So I didn't write down a bucket list, but there were a lot of things that I wanted to do. And so I'm like, fuck it. I just started doing them. One of them was I started taking a CrossFit class. I've been so obsessed with CrossFit for years, watching it when it comes out every year, the CrossFit games. It's just so cool to me, the shit they do. So I'm like, you know what? The opportunity arose. I'm taking Corey to practice. She practices sometimes 3-4 hours a day. And sometimes I just sit there. So I'm like, well, let me see what I could do while I'm here. There was a couple of CrossFit clubs in the like mile away from her wrestling club. So I took a couple of free ones at one. I went to the other one and I liked it. So now I do CrossFit. I try to do it like twice a week. Another thing is I started doing some jiu-jitsu. I joined the Tucson Pride Club, also the grappling academy part. So I started doing a few. I don't do it often. I mean, like I'm older. My body's shot. I got a knee injury. That thing hurt it still hurts. But I'm trying. I'm like I said, all I could do is what I could do. I go to these classes and I do what I could do. What I love about CrossFit, it's scaled down. It's scaled down to your age, ability, and you do what you could do. So if the workout of the day is say pull-ups, well, I can't do a pull-up. I do an incline ring roll. It's a lot easier, but it's still giving me the same. It's giving me a workout to my capability. So that's something I felt like I want to do something and. So I'm just knocking things out. So yeah, I'm proud of myself. I started doing CrossFit and Jiu-Jitsu a little bit. And I'll probably never compete, obviously, but it's just something to do. Corey, I'm always posting. She does a lot of competition, and it's no secret. She's just dedicated, and she hard work produces results. So anybody could do this if they want to take the time to put in the work, basically. So like I said, let me know if you're interested. I'll get you the address. Odds are I'll be at that class, so you'll know someone. You know what I mean? Like I said, I plan on doing at least 2 to 3 shows a week. If I could do 5, I'll do 5. But again, thank you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Burn one. Yo. 21. Slow budget. Once again.